There's a beautiful midrash in Parashat Chukat that speaks about Moshe Rabbeinu and Rabbi Akiva. Of course, the connection that we would make is Parshat Chukat, Zot Chukat HaTorah, and the Gemara and Chazal right away pick on this. It doesn't say Zot Chukat HaPara, it says Zot Chukat HaTorah, speaking about learning Torah, committing oneself to the Torah, and perhaps the patriarch of commitment to Torah is Rabbi Akiva, a fellow that started at age 40 from nothing, had to commit himself. And it wasn't easy. The Midrashim say how in the beginning it was depressing for him. He had to go to the forest and see the drips of the water making an indentation in the stone. And his wife had to help him with the funny donkey and so on to really put up with this. And he put up with it. He went for 24 years, gaining 24,000 students, coming back, becoming the Rabban Shel Kol Yisrael. Even when we speak about the Sarah Harugei Malchut, quote unquote 10 martyrs, it's Rabbi Akiva v'chaverav. Even though that many of these people were older, bigger, more recognized in some ways in the Jewish history, they are not, they don't take the pedestal. Rabbi Akiva is the one that takes the pedestal. Rabbi Akiva v'chaverav, these are Rabbi Akiva and his friends. As if everyone else is batel to Rabbi Akiva. And you have even in Haggadah Shel Pesach, right, the 5 Chachamim who were all gathered together, and these are Rebbeim of Rabbi Akiva, right? Rabbi Eliezer, Rabbi Yeshua, Rabbi Tarfon, all senior, both in age and in status, you would think. And all of them are in Bnei Brak. Shai Mesubim Bnei Brak. Bnei Brak is the house of Rabbi Akiva. The only person that lived in Bnei Brak is Rabbi Akiva takes that pedestal in a way that no other person takes. And when you get to the Gemara in Menachot, Daf Chastet, it becomes a mind-boggling reality. The Gemara there says when Moshe Rabbeinu went up to Shamayim to accept the Torah, he saw HaKadosh Baruch Hu was sitting, Shaya Kosher Tarim Leotiot. He was putting crowns, the Tagim, on the Otiot, and Moshe Rabbeinu tells him, Mi ma'akev al yadecha? Ribono shel olam, mi ma'akev al yadcha? What are these for? And it says, La'atit, Lesof Kama Dorot, the end of many generations, there's going to be a fellow, Akiva ben Yosef Shemo. His name is going to be Akiva, and he's going to dash, he's going to explain and reveal and uncover tilim shel halachot, truckloads of halachot from each one of these tagim, which indicates the Gemara that Moshe Rabbeinu did not understand what these are. And Moshe Rabbeinu asks, show him to me. And he says, okay, sit back. He sees him, he's darshaning things that Moshe Rabbeinu, Gemara says, basically. Look at Rashi there. Seems like Moshe Rabbeinu didn't understand. There's a whole parak in Maral, in Tiferet Yisrael, parak Samach Gimel, that tries to explain this. And both him and Rav Tzadok, HaKohen Minubnin, Rav Tzadok says Moshe Rabbeinu was not zoche to the 50th shar of Chokhmah, but Rabbi Akiva was. The Maral there says that Moshe Rabbeinu was klaliot of the Torah, Rabbi Akiva was pratiot of the Torah. That's why you had the ktarim, the understanding of the details, and so on. Something that mind-boggling. And the Midrash in this week's parasha, Parshat Chukat, says that Moshe Rabbeinu versus Rabbi Akiva, Moshe Rabbeinu did not get all of the aspects of the Torah in certain way, and Rabbi Akiva, Rabbi Akiva was zoche to understand and to know things that are not necessarily even revealed in the details. It is mind-boggling. All these things, the Gemara Menachot, the Maral, Rav Tzadok, this midrash, it's a midrash in Midrash Rabbah in our parasha. Rav Tzadok says, this is the Shar Nun, the 50th Shar, is miyuchad for Baalei Tshuva, for people who have committed themselves from their own decision. Not that they were born in it, but they had their own decision to commit themselves fully to the Torah. That commitment goes beyond, to paraphrase it with the Gemara that says, "B'makom sheba'alei tshuva omdin en tzadikim gemurim yecholim la'amod tzmachot v'rishonim." You have to understand the Gemara. But in a place that a Baal Tshuva stands, even a full-fledged, perfect tzaddik that has never sinned cannot stand. because that's a matter of commitment. Zot chukat Torah is a commitment that we make to the Torah. It's like something that's chok, it's etched on the stone. Charut ala luchot, says the Gemara. The Gemara in Ketuvot Kufid Aleph explains, Al tikri charut ela cherut. It gives you freedom from malach hamavet, from everything. When? When it's charut, when it's etched. Kotvem al luach libecha. You etch it on your heart. When a person has that level of commitment, that you commit yourself fully and totally and solely to the Torah, you could get to the Madragot. We would never think that someone is going to be in any way greater than Moshe Rabbeinu. That was the conduit of Torah for all generations. Moshe Rabbeinu, he's our Rebbe. He's our teacher of all generations. And yet you could have a person that decides at the age 40, someone that the Gemara says in Ketuvot, Tav Samach Gimel, that beforehand he said, someone give me a Talmid Chacham, I'll bite him like a donkey. Someone that started from there and now becomes the conduit of the entire Torah Shepal Peh. Kulan aliba de Rabbi Akiva, the Gemara says. Stam Safra, Stam Mishnah, Stam Sifri, Stam Tosefta, Stam, everything is aliba de Rabbi Akiva. He became like Moshe Rabbeinu 2.0. And that is all from Zot Chukat Torah, a commitment that the person has to the Torah, something so beautiful, so powerful for all of us to think about, for all of us to actualize. It's, it's us making decisions, not to be floating with the flow of the community necessarily, but revisiting every decision and every commitment for our own. Am I really committed? He was willing to imagine a Gemara there in Samach Gimel. He comes back after 12 years. He hears the wife saying, if he would listen to me, he would go another 12. And he just turns around and goes, without saying, without stopping even, because like Rabbi Chaim Shmuel says, 12 plus 12 does not equal 22, 24. Does not. It's different. 24 years of non-stop commitment. Yeah, we're not holding it, but we're holding in our own way of making our own commitments, real commitments, not seeing it from other people, but making that commitment to the Torah in our own level. Be'ezrat Hashem. Amen.